Okay, so now I'm going to get into the juiciest part, which is what every man is here to talk about. Does circumcision make sex worse? Does it make it better? Now, you can't evaluate this based on testimony, because if somebody has been circumcised as a newborn, they've never experienced adulthood with a foreskin, so they can't judge whether it's better or worse, with or without, vice versa. Many men who are circumcised say that women love their penis and they have great sex, but there's also many who aren't circumcised. Who are circumcised who are disappointed because the foreskin plays a major role in sex biologically. The only group who could truly have a full perspective on this is people who were circumcised as adults. In the 1950s, after World War II, the United States were heavily involved in South Korea, and we kind of enforced circumcision on them. We interviewed men before and after receiving the procedure, and of 140 men, half said that masturbation was less pleasurable, and 28% of men said sex was less enjoyable. So it's not that bad. There's been studies done since then, and it claims its sensitivity and the pleasure experience during sex didn't change. I was reading an academic journal about the foreskin when I was researching this, and it was funny, the title of it was Vital or Vestigial. The foreskin can have the foreskin has its fans and its foes, and that was pretty funny to me. I don't know. So every animal with a penis has a foreskin, so it's not vestigial in nature. It's clearly continuing. In fact, the foreskin makes up 1/3 of the penis skin, and it protects the head from abrasion and contact with clothes because that contact actually decreases sensitivity on the head. During stimulation, either masturbatory or intercourse, the foreskin slides up and down the shaft, stimulating the penis. It also decreases friction and decreases the need for lube. Obviously, lube is necessary during sex, but it makes it more comfortable for women. I mean, it's not like men really care about what's more comfortable for women anyway, but so how do I explain this? So the gland on the head becomes moist, and that's what it's supposed to do. But instead, when you're circumcised, you have so much contact with the head that it becomes dry due to keratinization. So your penis is supposed to be softer than it is when you get erect. There's an area called the ridge band that is actually loaded with special nerve endings, which obviously meant to increase pleasure during sex. It's unfair to claim that people who are circumcised don't experience sensation from masturbating or sex because it's obviously untrue. However, if you look at it biologically, the foreskin plays a vital role in not only the pleasure of sex, but the ease for intercourse. So I left the most frustrating argument for last because this is something that really annoys me. So I don't want to be annoyed throughout this whole video because I think a lot of arguments for circumcision are innocuous. People don't think there's anything wrong with it because of the tradition. However, this argument I'm going to bring up really fills me with rage at how superficial and vapid it is. The argument comes from both men and women, and it is the claim that it looks better. This is not going to be academic, what I'm going to say, because this is not an academic argument. There's no care over your son's health, safety, or anything based on this argument. So you don't deserve to be discussed with the safety gloves or with sympathy. You are a stupid piece of shit. Oh my god, I really went off here. If you're going to mutilate your child based on how sexually appealing you find an erect penis. When this comes from a woman, I want to smack them. I don't do that because that is abuse, but I want to. Women have no say in what the fuck a penis should look like because you're only there when it is up. We do not perform breast augmentations for flat-chested girls when they are 12 because men like big breasts better. If I came up with that notion, it would be immediately shut down and considered absolutely ridiculous and vapid. I think this comes from any lack of an education because even I didn't know what a foreskin was until I was about 13. I thought all penises were circumcised. I thought this was normal. When a penis is erect, whether it is uncircumcised or not, it looks exactly the same. Besides, the foreskin can move up and down. But when when it's erect, it looks exactly the same. So obviously, women prefer the look of an erect penis over a soft penis. Soft penises are smaller, they're boring, they're ugly, whatever. But if you're thinking about this regarding your newborn baby, I'm baffled. That's so gross. Instead of saying I'm going to mutilate my son's penis because I'm scared that a girl will say it's gross, why don't you promote education and educate yourself? Women in Europe don't mind. I think if girls were taught what the penis is supposed to look like, then no one would care. As I mentioned earlier, in Roman Greece, that was preferred. An uncircumcised penis was preferred over a circumcised penis, and that was considered attractive. And so these are just simply societal norms, and it's so funny when this comes from women because they're the ones that can be like, I can be 300 pounds and I'm still sexy, and you can't say shit about me. But like, I don't even know. So if you're a man, this is coming from a man, and you're circumcised and you have sex with women, and they tell you it's amazing. No one's gonna tell you it sucks. Like, they're not gonna say like, oh, I like uncircumcised penises better. That just doesn't make sense. So don't say So wait. Sorry, I really went off here. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So don't say. So don't say I had some bomb ass fucking sex and I'm circumcised. Who the fuck cares? Uncircumcised people also have sex and it is bomb. And if you look at biology, it's probably better than yours. Regardless, this is not an argument that should be made regarding circumcision, even if you're pro cutting. That is okay, but it's your choice. But if you have a reason, but you better have a reason that involves religious traditions or health purposes, not because of porn. Also, the common dildo is based on an uncut penis, but you wouldn't know because it's erect and they look the same except for the amount of skin. So that's pretty much it for me when it comes to arguments. Now I want to mention what should be done. What's my take? Obviously, I don't have the capabilities to make legislation or change people's minds, but in Nina's world, this is what would happen. Circumcision is male genital mutilation and is equivalent to female genital mutilation. According to the Female Genital Mutilation Act of 1996, it bans female circumcision on anyone under the age of 18. So if somebody wants to when they're an adult, they can. There's been some federal judges say that it's unconstitutional, and what that person was a Jewish judge. So there can be some ideas of why he decided to rule that. 32 states have their own legislation making female genital mutilation illegal, and I think the reason why it's not 50 is because it's not prevalent and it's not that important. Obviously, male circumcision isn't as evil as female genital mutilation, but it's still performing a procedure that's medically necessary on a newborn child. I think that it should be illegal, but that won't happen considering about 60% of American males are circumcised. The number has gone down drastically, so I think a lot more Americans are being educated on why circumcision isn't necessary, and I think the number is going to keep going down. So we don't need to have a ban. We don't need to ban it because it'll be too much controversy and the Jews will get involved, and we don't need that. So that's about it for my essay thing. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will definitely read it. I hope some of you were educated on circumcision, and especially women, because we don't have penises, unless you're a girl with a penis. But for women with vaginas, we don't know. And I had to do research, learn about penises, look at charts and pictures and stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.